Hey guys, welcome back to my home gym channel. Today we are reviewing the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro 9-in-1 machine. So yes, they did send this to me to talk about it, to review it and give them feedback. So that's what we're doing today. So first let's get into a few of the specs of this equipment. This is kind of the base model, right? This weighs 108 pounds and it's going to be fully adjustable to accommodate people between 5 foot and 7 foot in height. This piece has a 500-pound maximum capacity, and it says it does 9 things in one, but it does a lot more. Some of the exercises that it does that it's phenomenal at is you have your GHD sit-up, you have decline sit-up, you have your glute ham raise or reverse hyper, you have your back extensions, you have hip thrusts, Bulgarian split squats. You can do, if you do the upgrade kit for the leg developer, you can do leg extension, leg curls. They even have an upper body kit, so you could do things like rows, bicep curls, triceps, and more. So this does a lot of cool things. And the great thing about this is the reason why I really wanted to talk to you guys about this today is because after having it, I always say like, hey, if it's gonna do many things, make sure it does many things well. And most of the exercises you're gonna do on this, it does just that. I was impressed. So I definitely think it's an essential piece for home gym owners or strength and conditioning coaches or athletes. Like even if you're a coach out there and you have a small training studio, this is gonna be something that's going to be essential because of the performance exercises it allows you to do. I'm all for it. I'll be keeping this one. So let's deep dive a little bit further into each of those exercises. The first exercise I'm going to show you guys is the Nordic Curl. And yes, if you're like me, I've seen Nordic Curls all over my social media pages. Everybody's doing them. But why do we care about doing Nordic Curls? The thing about it is that a lot of people get hamstring injuries. And the Nordic Curl is one exercise that's going to train your hamstrings in a lengthened position under load. What that means is eccentrically, right? So your hamstrings are fully lengthened, they're not contracted, and we're placing load in that position. And research has shown on sports performance athletes that training Nordic Curls into your program, whether the athlete or the coach, is going to help reduce your risk of injury for hamstrings up to 70%. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You can't do any kind of like leg curls aren't going to load you eccentrically like Nordic curls are, like RDLs, none of that stuff. So Nordic curls are a golden exercise of themselves. So this is how you're going to do it. This is the hardest kind of way, right? We're having it at 180 degree flat, like no incline here. You're going to put your feet in, lock them in nice and tight. And then through this movement, you want to keep your hips extended. This exercise is really hard for me, so I'm going to show you a fully executed one and a regression. But this would be, right, you're lowering, hamstrings are loaded, and you're coming down, and then you're going to use, like you should keep your hips straight, but I can't. So I'm going to have a slight bend in my hips to pull myself up. So let me show you a full range of motion one without any issues. All we're going to do is we're going to raise this up a bit, unhook this here. So we're going to raise this up, so it's going to make it a little bit easier. So this is going to be the regression. And then from this position, tuck in your legs. And then here my hips are extended. I'm lowering, hips are extended. And then I'm using these to pull myself back up. So that is a Nordic curl. And that's why this bench is going to set itself apart from other benches because it allows you to regress and progress the exercise based on you or any of the athletes you're training. Now let's set it up for a decline sit-up. There you go, lock it in place. Let's climb on in. I will say these handles on the foot plate up at the top and at the bottom got a nice little bit of a knurling to give you a little bit of traction. And here we go for the decline sit-up. Great thing about the decline sit-up is it gives you a larger range of motion, right? A nice stretch versus a flat one. That's, all right, you're coming up against gravity. So that's the decline sit-up. And from here, right, you can also do some like Russian twists. You can have a weighted ball. So you can do like a pull and reach to get some good obliques in here. That's the decline sit-up. Let's go from decline sit-up to back extensions. So easy adjustment here. I want it a little bit higher. So pull this knob. Now I have it higher. I'm going to adjust this. My height is set for about a 4 on the markings. And then here we go. Back extensions, a great exercise to work that posterior chain, to strengthen your glutes and your erectors, your lower back. A good position would be having your hips slightly above the pad. So here we're working our low back in this area here. If you want to switch it to a glute dominant exercise, you're going to turn your feet at a 45-degree angle, and instead of keeping a neutral spine, you're going to tuck the chin, flex the spine, round the spine, and as you come up, I'm initiating movement of contracting my glutes into the pad. So I can go from back extension to glute dominant extensions just by switching my position of my feet and my spine. Next, we're going to add the GHD attachment, which then I'll be able to show you GHD sit-ups as well as reverse hypers. So the reverse hypers are probably my most favorite part of this machine. And I'm going to tell you why once I put it in. So we're locking this on here. Lock it in place. Everything's nice and tightened. Okay, reverse hypers. I have herniated discs from when I used to jump out of airplanes in the Army. If you have herniated disc, bulging discs, this is going to be a great exercise, not only to bring you some pain relief, to build up strength in the back, to alleviate that pain, to make you stronger, to be able to go about your movements as a person and as an athlete. One of the cool things about reverse hypers is your body position, your hips are going to be slightly off the pad. This movement here, when I let my legs hang down, offers traction, much like a vertical, one of those tables, inversion tables that you hang from, where the whole point is to kind of give your spine a little bit of decompression, expand between those discs in your spine. Same thing here. So you're going to grab, I need to adjust this, bring this up just a smidge. So everything about this is super cool because it's highly adjustable depending on your height and your limb lengths. So as I position myself here, I got these handles here to hold on to. And right here, like it's stretching here, which feels really good. So as I'm stretching and then I'm coming up and I'm using this kind of as a pendulum to stretch, to flex and extend my spine. And then if you want, you could do some isolateral training with maybe even an isometric hold where you're just doing one leg at a time to make sure that each side gets worked equally. So you could do here, up, hold, 1, 2, that isometric squeeze at the top, or if you want to change this to a glute exercise, you get in the frog position, you could be here or feet up, and you're just kicking your butt up, and it's really going to load those glutes. And if you want to progress this exercise, you could attach a band and then a band around your feet to add some resistance, or you could use ankle weights. My second favorite part of this is the GHD sit-up. So GHD sit-ups are going to be really big in like the CrossFit and hybrid kind of community. They're also a great athletic performance exercise. So here we are. Once again, we secure our feet. This is an advanced core movement, but the thing about it, there's a certain way to do it. I need to adjust it. So you see here my hips are on the pad. I need them to be slightly off. So I'm going to lengthen that a little bit. Let's see how that is. So yeah, that's a little better, right? I don't want my hips on the center of the pad. I want them slightly off. So on your way down, bend in your knees so you can just flex the spine and here, right, a nice fully lengthened abdominal position. And then the key is, as you come up, contract your quads, flex your knees to power you up. So bend on the way down and then power flex, all in the legs. Down, power up. Down, power up. That is the GHD. Let me show you how to change it from this setup to be able to do split squats, everybody's favorite, and hip thrusts. So we just pull this pin, this padding on this is legit. It's soft, it's like extra large. They did a great job, there's no pinching points. We'll slide it on, pinch it in. And again, the height of this is adjustable. There's tons of little holes here, so you have plenty of height adjustments. So now you have it locked in. And let's do everyone's favorite split squats. Everybody hates Bulgarian split squats, but the reason why you do them is because it not only trains you unilaterally or one leg at a time, but it forces you to work on your strength and your flexibility and your stability all in one exercise. So here we are. And it also helps your mobility because as you come down, it's forcing your quad and hip flexor to get a nice stretch. So you're here, you could be holding dumbbells or a barbell. So here we have our split squats, switch legs, foot back. I like that that back roller pad is adjustable. And there you go. And then to make this into hip thrusts, right? Again, you could use a weighted ball, a barbell, dumbbells, whatever you want. Go ahead, position yourself on the floor. You can adjust this whatever height works for you. I think I'm gonna have it just a tiny bit higher. And then putting your shoulder blades on it. Right, maybe you have your barbell here and you're gonna drive up. And that is so you can do some hip thrusts, right? You could do one leg at a time. Lots of options. This truly is like a really nice all-in-one training piece for all sizes of people in a small floor space. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to develop our quads and our hamstrings with the leg developer attachment. Let's go over the leg developer so we can work on our quads and our hamstrings. Here it is. Pretty simple attachment. Got little hook catches down below. Oops. Probably help if I put that down. There we go. It's so simple. Hook catches there. And then slides right on. There you go. And then you have a locking pin here. And then a locking pin up here. So now it's secure in place and we can do some leg extensions. So the leg developer does come with these two handles. So it's made to fit inside these pre-existing handles, which I like the idea. Although the orientation of these handles aren't my favorite. I kind of wouldn't mind if they kind of stayed out here. I have longer arms, so maybe for short people with arms with shorter people, and plus it's kind of hard to lock in. Like you have to really pull it. I have longer arms, and the whole purpose of these handles is to stabilize yourself. So, right, I like to handle right under, see, it's already fallen off. We're not gonna use those. They might work for some people, that's the only thing, for me, they don't work. So I'm here, and I pull myself, I pull my body and my hips and everything into the pad, right? So I'm pulling myself in so that I can have stability here, so the movement's coming from here, I can isolate the quads, like so. Come all the way up, hard squeeze. And as you see, or as maybe I could show you, there are various pin settings here. So this roller can come up or down depending on the length of your lower limb. It does feel really good. So full range of motion, right? If we were just ending here with my shins vertical, I'd be like, okay. But this allows you to come back. So this negative shin angle, as my shin goes back, gives me a larger stretch and range of motion for my quads. So I can start back and then come all the way up, hard squeeze. Like some leg extensions I've used, they stop right here. I love how this one just gives me that full range, and I actually keep good tension through the whole entire thing. So they built this really well with the slant here and here. It really allows for you to blast your quads. Like they're already popping. So I do think the leg extension piece of this is phenomenal. So this attachment is what you're gonna be using for your leg curl and your upper body. So the upper body kit we'll get into next goes right here. So we have it, you slide it on, put this little pin, right, and kind of lock it in place. And now we're ready for some hamstring curls. So I'm gonna try it a couple ways. I'm gonna have it flat, and then I'm gonna put it at a decline, and we're gonna go through and talk about how it feels. So here at the flat position, so you get all up in there, right? You can move this so it's out of your head. There are handles underneath here for different exercises for you to support yourself. So here we are, right? You're gonna squeeze up. I mean, the load on my hamstring is crazy throughout the entire movement. So it does load them from start to finish. But what I like is I like doing this. So my preference is I dropped it to a decline which is going to be very similar to machines you see in a commercial gym, right? They have your upper body, your torso at a lower height than your hips. Your hips are going to be a little higher. So we have recreated this. So climb on in, get your butt scooted in there nice and good. I like grabbing these handles here, and then there we go. See, that for me is an incredible range of motion, incredible strength profile. I'm able to keep my hips nice and flat, because on the leg curl, you don't want to ever have your butt up like this, right? You should not be able to put your hand through. You want those hips to be extended, and then you're just curling hard squeeze. That's how you build some monster hammies, guys. All the way down, engage, and then contraction. And then you can even play around a little bit, right? You can bring your feet a little bit wider. You're going to work a different part of your hamstrings, because there are 3 different hamstring muscles, or you could bring them in pretty narrow. And you just see how it feels different in your body when you just change the angle and the foot placement. So that is the hamstring curl. And now I will show you how to then progress this to the upper body. So the upper body kit, some of the components are, you have these 2 straps, a couple carabiners, there is another extension strap. The cool thing about this, it has Velcro, so you can kind of change the length of where you want it. And it also has a bunch of little D-rings so that you can also attach at different points for different exercises. So I'm first going to demonstrate a seated row, and then we'll go into some face pulls, some bicep curls, and end with triceps. There are more exercises you can do, but these are the ones that I'm going to go over today. So here we go. Scooch back. And surprisingly, I thought at first this wasn't going to feel good, but honest to goodness, it is a good pull. I can get a nice stretch here, right? My lats are nice and lengthened, and then I can drive them in, and I can have a nice, like with these adjustable lengths, I can really get a good stretch and squeeze. So this would be your seated row. You can do standing rows. As I said, there's lots more exercises, but we're just going over like the top ones. And then from here, you can do face pulls. So for upper back, rear delts, here you go, face pulls. Nice little example of those. And then you're like, ooh, I want to get a quick pump in my biceps to show off. Here you go. Just elbows high, bring them nice in, right? Good squeeze. And it's a good bicep contraction. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to set this up for a tricep exercise, doing skull crushers. So here we have skull crushers. So it is an upper body kit. You can do a majority of your upper body movements with this. So looking at this, you're like, holy crap, it does a lot of things. I don't even know what I'm doing. There's a QR code on the back of this you can scan. It helps you tells you video instructions on how to set this up. It has training modules to show you how to train, how to make all these adjustments. Building it was no issue. The instructions were phenomenal. Like they have step-by-step video instructions. So if you're a video person like you need to see, they nailed that. And they also have lots of content on how to use that. And I learned this whole entire thing in and out in under an hour. It looks more complicated than it really is. I'm telling you guys, there's other harder things out there in life than learning how to use this. And you just spend an hour with it. You're going to know all the ins and outs, be able to adjust it, fit it to your body, and then you have it. Like I said, it's super adjustable to all different kinds of people. It actually is easy to learn. Once you kind of understand the knobs, like red is for this, purple is for this, it becomes, by the second time you use it, it's easy. It's human nature, right? And then like there's so many exercises you can do with it. I showed you guys some basic ones, but there's so many more you can do. And if I train clients here at my house, I'm a professional athlete, a hybrid athlete, I train at home. This is going to be an essential piece. Like I was, no BS, super surprised at how well this was made and how good it does those things. Like I said, the only thing I didn't like were those handles for the leg extension. And that was insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And this is under $1,000. So you're getting all that with a small footprint, and it stores vertically for under $1,000. I have all good things to say about it. Like, yes, they did send this to me at no cost to give them their feedback and produce this video. But now, knowing what I do about this, I would pay full price for this without a doubt, because it's that good. It is that, for strength and conditioning, you just can't go wrong. So those are my pair of pennies. I hope you guys like this video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have one, what you think about it. If you have any suggestions like, hey, I wish I could do this better or that better, please hit that subscribe button, that like button, and I'll see you guys here next time.